Hey guys, welcome back to BigT Cooks. Thanks everyone for watching the last couple of shows here. So as you can see, we're in a different destination today, not in my kitchen. We're in a friend's house today who's going to come and help me do a little recipe of hers, a family recipe. As you can tell, here we go, we've got a little chalkboard here. We're doing BigTs Christmas sangria. So without further ado, I'll invite my first ever special guest to BigT Cooks, and here we go, we've got Bella.
Hello.
Hey Belle, so this is one of Belle's family recipes, all the way from Spain, so she's going to share that with us today. But like I said, we're just doing something different than always being on the barbecue. So this is a Spanish summer drink, Belle?
It's a Spanish, basically summer staple, I would have said. So, there really isn't much cooking. It's just, mixing, basically, which, Christmas time, keeping it easy and still keeping the people happy is what it's all about. Yeah,
and all these ingredients that we've got, just all supermarket brought and obviously bottle shop.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, there's a bit of alcohol involved, obviously. It's like red wine. Want to kind of use something that is not goonsack kind of quality. So a little bit something else. Cognac or brandy, whatever you desire really. And some sparkling, which doesn't have to be super quality, so to speak. It's just to kind of blend it all together. And then it's really all about marinating the spices and the fruit. And that's what actually is all about the whole scenario.
100%, yeah. And that's like something different than the barbecue. Good summer drink for everyone to drink apart from kids, but I just think it's a good idea to try something different, and I think Bella's recipe here is fantastic and something different for the summer nights to try out, do your own versions and stuff as well, but we're just going to try this special one first. So it's good to have Bella on the show. Like I said, if anyone wants to come and do a bit of a cook with Big T, let me know. So what we'll do next, we'll just take a quick break and then we'll get back into Belle preparing different steps for the sangria. So we'll be back. So we're back now, peoples. Bella's got her next couple of steps here ready for our sangria, so I'll pop it over to the master. I'll stand in the background with my Grinch shirt. Bella's all the happy stuff with Santa. I love Christmas. So
alright, so basically the main fruit we're using is peaches, and I've just used tinned peaches, so a couple of small ones will be fine. Look, you can feel free to use whatever you want, to use your imagination, but just keep in mind it's supposed to be Mediterranean. I don't know where berries and apples come into play when it comes to sangria, but apparently you see that in places.
You can put them in there,
No, I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't put them in there, if you want to put them in there.
So anyway, we drank those peaches, that's about it, and that's about how to marinate them. So cognac or brandy, whatever is your poison really, so it doesn't matter. Look, if you actually believe my dad's recipe, he actually says you use half a litre of that.
For brandy?
I think you'd be pretty rocking if you're doing that. So I generally just give it a good swig, whatever you feel is right, basically.
Smells good. Yeah, brandy.
I do like it covered. Does need to have a bit of coverage there. And then just to sweeten it a little bit, we'll just use a little bit of sort of like what do you call this? Icing sugar.
Icing sugar,
that's right.
What's that make it sweet?
Well, it just makes it sweet, and I guess it also helps the alcohol to get a little bit more intensive because, it's all about that this time of the year.
Yeah, we want the alcohol to soak into the peaches.
Well, this is, I always say to people, when you actually get into your sangria, watch the fruit. That's what gets you every time. So just have that a little bit covered.
So it's like the worm in the bottom of the bottle in the tequila. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
So what we'll do is now we'll just literally cover that up, and that needs to soak for at least 2 hours. The longer you let it sort of like soak and keep it nice and cool, the more.
Oh yeah, smell that brandy. Yeah. Oh, she's gonna be some people wasted tonight.
So the other thing that you need to do is you need to also get your wine sort of like marinated, for a better word of it, or maybe just infused, I guess. So
we've got another bowl, so two separate bowls here.
Yeah, you have to two separate bowls, and you do mix them together in the end, but that's in the end. So there's a few steps. It just takes a bit of time. So you need at least 2 litres here.
So 2 bottles of red wine, brandy, yes.
So, a bit of sloshing around. Here we go. we do is we'll basically put some spices into the red wine to let that sort of like infuse. So cinnamon, one of it.
What have we got? Cinnamon stick.
Cinnamon
stick, yeah.
Yes.
Easily brought.
And you want some cloves. You know, whatever you think is right, really. I generally pop them into a little sieve because if you pop them just into the wine, you're never going to find them, and it's a bit.
And you'll
awkward.
find that in your drink. You'll find that when you're drinking it and bust a tooth. We don't want that, do we?
No, we do not want that because no one wants to be on call over Christmas.
That looks like a little
So just kind of like hang that in there. It's like a little tea sieve, really. You can just, but it works quite well for that, basically.
Cool, handy little thing.
And then what I do, and that's a little bit of a, I guess my own thing, is I actually do use a little bit of sort of like orange, and I pop that in there as well. If you might say that's actually the Christmas part of it, I reckon, because, over there you would normally have mulled wine because it's winter in Europe and in Spain. But in Australia, that kind of doesn't work, but we can make it a little bit of a mixture, basically.
Cool.
So probably enough to have just used half the orange, use the other half or whatever you like, maybe just to garnish afterwards.
Yeah, so we both just let them sit there now for...
That is it. This needs to sit for however long you want it to sit, really. Like I said, the longer you let it sit, the more intense it's going to be.
Yeah.
You do want to cover it up and you do want to keep it cool. It's quite important because if it warms up, it just doesn't taste as good.
Yeah, so both of them, we'll put them both in the fridge.
Yeah.
So it's just mid-afternoon now. We'll be back down here later on, but we'll put them in the fridge and then...
We'll have a few drinks in the meantime.
Yeah, we'll have a few. We'll show you. So we'll basically, Belle's set that all up.
That's it. That's about it.
Pretty simple, isn't it? Pretty simple, but like I said, you can use whatever you want, but this is from Spaniards, Spanish, yeah.
Yes,
so we'll let that sit for a couple of hours, Belle, and then we'll come back when we start mixing that up, and hopefully that fruit's taken on all the brandy and stuff. Yeah, I can smell it. It smells pretty good. But yeah, really good to have Belle on the show. It's something different again for us to do. How's the nerves now? A bit better now.
It would be better once I have a glass of that.
Have a glass of that, yeah. So we're going to be back in a couple of hours' time once everyone's frocked up and ready to go for Christmas celebrations here in Ballarat, and then we'll show the next step later on when it's all done and everyone's enjoying themselves. So really appreciate it, and we'll be back in a few hours. All right, so we're back now. What have we had, Belle? 2 or 3 hours? 3?
Yeah, I reckon just about 3.
3 hours, yep.
So we're going to see how that all smells now, I reckon.
Yep. So these are the peaches, look at them.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Doesn't smell as strong as what it was when we first done.
Well, it's because the peaches have absorbed
Yes,
it.
that's it.
But, I reckon they'll be perfectly fine. So
what's that, our wine? Cloves.
That's the wine with the cloves and the cinnamon. So I'm just going to swirl that through. And now we're going to have to get a few bits and pieces out. So going to grab the actual...
Still got our Chardonnay ready to pop.
So that's coming out. Oops. And the cloves are coming out. So now it gets a bit messy, actually, because now you have to actually put this all together.
Ooh.
So going to make sure you get all the bits at the bottom there. Just,
bit of sugar down the bottom too.
Yeah, that will have.
That's good. That's going to have all the alcohol in, isn't it? Yeah,
so mixing that in.
Yeah.
And then you have the little secret ingredient, actually.
Do you want me to pop this thing as well?
You can pop that
Here
right
we go.
now.
Hope you don't make it messy. Hope it doesn't go over your roof. Here we go. Oi!
Woo!
Leave that there for the boss. So what are we adding in there, Belle?
This is just a bit of fizz, basically. So it's a little bit of lemonade.
Just doing the final bit now, Belle.
Yep, so a little bit of sparkle at the very end is just that little bit of sort of like, sparkling wine, whatever you want to do. And that gives it that really nice little
colour in that as well.
Sparkle, yeah. And then so we'll mix it through a little bit, make sure it really gets through. And then really, all you want to do is just kind of like put a little bit of decorations in it. I use grapes most of the times. You can use little bananas.
Nice fizzy, isn't it?
Yeah. And then it's a matter of just keeping it cool until the guests arrive.
Yep. So it's at this back in the fridge, and then whenever,
Pretty much.
when pretty much they all turn up, we can have our Christmas cheer.
I think that we should taste
Yeah.
because I think we put a bit of effort into
Here we
this.
go. Weapon.
Perfect.
Nothing wrong with the old soup ladle.
So a little bit of alcohol.
Oh.
Here we go. And you have to try a little bit of the peaches
A little bit of the
because
peach.
that's where the magic happens.
Yep. Look at that.
There you go. Righty.
So here we go. So we've got Bella's sangria, Christmas sangria, all from Spain, Austria, where her family's from.
Combination.
So Merry Christmas to everyone. Thanks, Bella, for coming on the show just to show us this. Like, please try it. It's going to be great. Well, summer's night. Get the family and friends around, and that's what we always speak about. So
that's right.
Hope you enjoyed it. You've done a ripper job. You explained it better than what I have. So let's have a cheers and have a taste. Cheers.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it? It's smooth and it's and it's not overpowering, is it?
No.
So you got all them. You got the wine and
the wine and brandy.
Yep, and then a bit of fizz from the
bit of fizz from the lemonade and the sparkling wine and
now we just
and now we're just gonna keep drinking
keep drinking and that and hopefully we make like Christmas Day. So cheers once again and thanks, Belle.
No worries, my pleasure.